mental exercises to learn to control one's pulse and breathing in really stressful situations or when very nervous. What do you do?
Mental exercises. So we touched on this very briefly in the last episode, which was on the book, where I talk a little bit about sniper training. Visualization is probably your biggest tool in my experience. Train the shit out of it. Train. And when you think you've trained enough, keep training. But when you're not training, think about it. Think about it. The more you think about it, become in tune with yourself. Okay, I'm going to get a little spacey here, a little earthy. Just sit there. Because you know what you do when you're a sniper? You fucking sit there. You have a lot of time to yourself. Because you can't really talk because you got a job to do. And what you got to do is you just got to... Okay, I know my heart rate's going to go up here, but I got to do my best to make sure it doesn't overwhelm my motor functions. And you can control it pretty easily if you prepare yourself for that moment. But it's all about preparation, training, and visualization. Even making the shot. You know, like Tim Kennedy was on here, right? And he talked about dry firing. Consider dry firing... that this is your dry firing for controlling yourself.
For your brain.
For your brain, exactly. And
dry fire your brain. I like that.
and it only comes from experience. Now, I guess there's probably some exceptions to the rule out there that are just born to be cold-blooded killers the second they get behind a barrel. But for me, it was visualization and just preparing to accept the feelings that were coming. And also overriding them, because they could still be happening, but you can still control yourself with the right kind of preparation. And it's also a perishable skill. Funny enough, I realized. I don't know if that answered the question, but
no, I think that's good. And I think for me, one thing that I know I do, and this is I guess it may be considered a technique. But it's like the technique creates the solution. Let me explain this to you. One of the things that I do in stressful situations, there's something that I always try and do, and that is no matter what's going on, I try and remain calm in my voice. Ooh, so when things are going crazy, I try and get on the radio and say, hey, we need 2 more people over here. Not, hey, we need 2 more people over here.
Roger that.
So if you're going to talk in a calm, controlled voice, then you can't be breathing hard. You can't be excited. You can't get angry. You can't get frustrated. You have to lock all that up and get it under control before you open your lips.
Right.
And start saying something. And so I'm always very focused on I am going to sound calm, cool, and collected when I open my mouth. That way, and in doing that, the only way to make that happen is to do everything we just talked about. Control your breathing, control your pulse, control your emotions, get all those things under control, and then say, all right, we need 2 more guys down here immediately, now. And everybody goes, oh, okay, let's make this happen.
And coming from you especially, in your case, you were the boss. So if you're calm, cool, and collected, that translates to your troopers.
It absolutely does.
So for us as well, when we were doing Overwatch, 6 is 6-3, movement to your left.
Where are they at? No.
Your left.
Right. Think about what happens when you do that.
So imagine if I went, holy shit, 6, they're on your left, they're on your left.
Right. I'm freaking out.
It would be lost. But you're that voice, because snipers are Overwatch. The troops feel better when they know, oh, okay, the snipers doing Overwatch. Okay, we're gonna be okay.
We're gonna be all right.
So if I got on the radio and talked the same way, so nope, okay, adjust fire 400 meters north, fire for effect. Roger that. You gotta. That's a good point. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
I think airline pilots train that too, because
they-
when you hit the turbulence, and they're hey guys, sorry about that turbulence.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and put your seatbelts
And
back on
Yeah,
back
yeah,
there.
that's
And,
Actually, if you hear Sully, the guy that landed on
Amazing.
the river, he's
Amazing.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're gonna have to bring it
I
down.
think
on the river.
they have to teach them that, because
do.
that's where people are so apprehensive is when they're in the plane.
my
you
favorite
know,
part
the
about
turbulence.
that is he's like, yeah, we'll be in the river, and the guy's like, say again, we'll be in the Hudson. Roger out. And like the plane, it's like real time. You're watching the video, and he's just like, yeah, we're in the river. We're in the river.
It's like, oh man,
What?
And
Oh.
by controlling his
Badass.
voice, in order to control his voice, he's got to control his breathing, he's got to control his temper, he's got to control his emotions. And so that's what I do in those situations. And I'll tell you what, if I'm not in a situation where I need to talk, I'll just talk to myself. Be like, okay, just say that in my head.
Yeah.
All right, what is the next movement you're going to
I know we're spending a lot of time on the first question,
That's
but
okay.
that's what saved my life.
Oh,
Staying. If I had gone into shock, dude, I'd be dead, right?
Yes.
And I say it in the book. I say I did my best to go into the zone. So I know I'm bleeding out, and I know this, and I know that, but in my mind, it was let the system do its job. Okay, everything's gonna be fine, Jody. It's okay. And I just kept talking to myself, visualizing okay, so the chopper's gonna come in, and I just visualized each step. And but the whole point to it was I couldn't have my pulse, jackhammer. Otherwise,
more blood's lost.
more blood loss, and then and what happens, right? Blood gets sucked into your core when you go into shock, and that sucks it out of your brain, sucks it out of everywhere where I needed to stay conscious. So anyway, long answer for one question, but this is also something you got to learn, practice, keep practicing it. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, and we talk about this again all the time on the podcast. Inoculate yourself to these stressful situations.
That's right.
That's
Colonel
another thing.
Grossman, that's the guy's name.
Yes.
Stress inoculation.
Yep. Inoculate yourself to the stress so that when you get used to it.
Yeah.
The more stressful situation, going through training, man, they put all kinds of stresses at you.
Yeah.
So that you learn to deal with it. And if you want to learn that's your time to practice controlling all those things.
Absolutely.
And I'm not trying to go level 7 Zen Buddha on you all like, you need to get in the mind state to control your breathing. Like, no, it's a practical thing. It's a real thing. It's not a yoga thing.
Yeah.
It's a practical, real thing of, hey, calm down, take a deep breath, get yourself under control. Now it's time to talk and give clear, concise orders that are calm.
Yeah. Or make that shot.
Or crack one off if you're in the sniper zone.
Whack a bad guy.